So by this point, I have a number of citations, and I want to make sure that they're showing up correctly, they're properly formatted. So let's take a look at how to actually create an appropriate IEEE formatted references page using Microsoft Word. So you'll notice this is the document that I'm working on. I've been working on it for several videos now, and there's a bunch that I haven't finished, so I have a number of things to fill in, but I'm still going to add my references section now, and I'm going to keep it updated as I go. And the reason for that, again, is because I want to make sure my formatting makes sense and all of that sort of thing. So let's go ahead and click on just below the very last part of the document. So that's where I want to be, is at the end of the document, because in IEEE format, references always go at the end, including after appendices. So they will go at the very, very end of your document. Okay. So here I'm on references page again. So once again, if you're not there, you might be at home, you might be somewhere else. We're going to click on references. And what we want to do now is add a references section. And unfortunately, Microsoft Word doesn't change things when we are setting up our references for IEEE. So for example, IEEE does not typically use a bibliography. And so we want to click here where it says bibliography. And you'll notice I have built-in, so these are multiple different options. And there are, in fact, differences between these three. We'll get to that in a different video, but IEEE format requires us to use the thing called references. And so I'm going to click on that, and it will insert it for me. But I'd like to just go through a couple of things and make sure that everything is working well. So first of all, we have M. Cooper-Stachowsky, so my name is fine. Things are showing up in the appropriate format. And you'll notice that names are showing up as they should, so it should be the first letter of the first name with a period, and then the last name. So everything looks good to me. And we'll do another video where I'll show you what it looks like when perhaps someone has a middle name or something like that, and Microsoft Word will not render that properly and you have to fix it. I will show you that later, but for now we're just going to say everything is good. There is one concern though, which is this thing here is blue in the wrong font. So I have this font here, but I'm using another style in my document. So I want to change that, and all I'm really going to change is the color. I want it to be gray, and I want it to be the same gray that I've been using, so which is this one here. And that way it just fits in with my document better. It looks a lot more professional. And generally speaking, it makes it look as though it was written by one person who understands the company. When you're doing this for your reports, typically what my expectation is you'll be using the standard Word stuff. So if you go to, say, home and you want to add, headings, heading 1, heading 2, all that sort of stuff. I've used some custom ones here, some subtitles, some subtle emphasis, and that sort of thing. And we'll get to that in different videos about how to really format your stuff. If you're using everything just as it is in Word, you won't have to do that. But if you have changed colors or whatever it happens to be, it is a really good idea to make sure that your document looks the same throughout. Okay, so everything is fine now, but what happens if I add a new reference? So let's say that there's a different reference, and I'll just add a random one. Let's say that I'm going to add a new one, so I go to References, and I say Insert Citation, and it's a new source. And let's just pretend as though it's a report, and it's written by me. And I'm just going to type in some random things. I want to show you what happens to the reference page here. And it was published by me in, let's say, Toronto. And so if I say OK, what you'll notice is that the report will show up. Here, the citation is as it should be. But if you look at your references page, it's not there. That's because Word doesn't auto-update. You have to make it update. And so to do that, you're going to click inside of here, and you'll see this button here, Update Citations and Bibliography. And if you click on that, everything is good to go. It adds the report.